I'm Native Hawaiian, Chinese, and that's always been who I am. It's not something I'll put on, like when you get up in the morning, put on a different color shirt or something like that. That's who I am. And it's always in the forefront of what work I do, if it's science or if it's athletics or if it's cultural practices. It's right there up front. Well, I grew up in a family of 3 brothers, and not having a sister, I'd say that's a challenge. What I think I recall most vividly is we've always played together, and I think from that I learned a lot about if I want to, be part of the group, I have to be a team player. Parents were always supportive and very encouraging, and sports played a big part in all of our lives growing up. We played every sports there was, and every season there was: basketball, baseball, softball, swimming, surfing, canoe paddling. Just always, trying to get better at whatever sports you're in or whatever team you're working on. I think that kind of carried over into the classroom setting. I always wanted to do as well as I could. You don't have to be the brightest. You can be the one who tries, hard and is able to get as far as you can. Anytime we had group projects, that was probably most interesting for me. If it was individual things, I'd do okay, but not necessarily. It wasn't all that much fun. When we had to work on a science project together or a math project together, I enjoyed that better. And probably because I wasn't an individual, but I was part of a group, and we were making something, happen, and I didn't have to always have the answer. I think that's how I did my best learning, not by myself in a book. I have to say a lot of Native Hawaiians will always be more interested in group learning. We grew up that way, and it wasn't a competitive society, it wasn't a competitive culture, it was an inclusive culture. I chose the University of Hawaii primarily because I was living here and I wanted to play sports. At that time, there wasn't a lot of recruiting going on at a small private school. Getting a scholarship was really important to go to school, so I was able to get a women's basketball scholarship. Undergraduate years is a good time to explore, and so when I entered the university, I said nursing, because it sounded really professional. But once I was there, I said, nursing's not for me. I'm going to do other things. So I tried psychology, I tried human development, I thought of physical education also. And what I found out what I was good at is I liked working with people, I liked working with groups, and human development turned out to be the discipline I wanted to major in. At first it was human development as an undergraduate degree, and then it was public health education as a master's student. I wasn't a straight A student, certainly. I liked the variety. I had all of them, A, B, C, D, and F, just to make it interesting. I knew I could do better. I knew there was something more I could be doing. I surrounded myself again with people who I could, work with and could bring me along, because there were always other people who knew just a little more than me and could help me figure out where I'm weak and how I could, get better at the studies or the research or whatever I was doing. I had an academic coach, and he was my supervisor maybe 15 years, Dr. Fred Greenwood, a biochemist, so basic scientist. There's these programs that he was directing, the Minority Biomedical Research Support Program, the MARC, Access to Research Career Program. So I signed up and joined it, and it was great. I never knew, being a microbiology student, working on a project, that later I would return after a graduate degree and be the coordinator of the program, and some 20 years later be the director of the program. So, you never know what these kind of programs can do and open your door. For my doctorate, it was an opportunity for me to focus on what I finally felt I wanted to do. I wanted to focus on being the person, the voice, to talk about the strength of the Native Hawaiian community and all the science that we practice in our medicines, in our lomi lomi, in our massage, in our la'au, our plant medicines, and in the way we problem solve, ho'oponopono. Those are the values I wanted to be able to do, and a doctorate degree allowed me to do that and publish it and speak to traditional healers. Native Hawaiians today suffer from high prevalence of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, cancer, and it's something we all need to look at why. Personally, I think it's cultural practices that we've put aside. We've adopted fast foods and white flour diets, and that's really not correct for our metabolism. Hawaiians were active, and they had, they chose different starches growing up, and I think we need to all go back to that and find things that worked for us in the past and bring that forward. Well, things I don't have to think about, but it's always there in my life, is ohana. It's a Hawaiian word for family or community or group. And that's pretty much the way I look at most things in my life. If I'm doing something, why am I doing it? Am I doing it for myself, or is it something greater that I want to be doing my work? And the work I'm doing is for the people who come after me. Aloha isn't just a greeting. It's a way of life. It's a respect for the environment you live in, the people you interact with, and what you leave behind you when you're gone. So aloha is a lot greater than just hello and goodbye.